Alright guys, so today we're going to be reacting to driving in the Autobahn. German road signs and traffic rules explained, because I think the last video that we reacted to this, some of you guys were saying that that video was not good. A lot of even the images or the videos were not even from Germany. So I feel like, damn, we missed an opportunity there. So thank you so much for you guys for letting me know. This one, it seems it's going to be in Germany. So let's hope so. Let's jump in.
My mother and I helped my good friend Nina moving out of her flat in Lichtenau in North Rhine-Westphalia. And on the way back, I decided to film our ride on the German Autobahn a little bit.
Okay.
I know that many of you guys are interested in and fascinated by the German highway system, how it works, what's the deal with speed limits and the like. This video does not only show us driving on the Autobahn, but I also explain common road signs and traffic rules. Alright, let's go, or drive for it.
Bow.
Every Fahrt, meaning every ride on the Autobahn, begins before actually being on the Autobahn, of course.
Ah, that's
and
beautiful.
No, I
That's
wasn't
beautiful.
talking about farts,
You remind me of Puerto Rico.
although it sounds
That's
very
beautiful.
similar to Die Fahrt. I gotta admit that. And, well, apparently Lichtenau is quite a village in a way, because why not? Everyone should drive to the local supermarket in a golf cart. Anyway, right now we're driving on a Landstraße, a country road so to speak.
Yep.
Take me home. Well, we're taking ourselves home, so don't worry. There are loads of Landstraßen in all parts of Germany, and they usually connect cities and regions. They don't belong to a city though, so you're usually allowed to drive faster than 50 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
On a Landstraße, the maximum allowed speed is 100 kilometers per hour, as long as it's not limited otherwise, for instance to 70 kilometers per hour, which is another very common allowed speed limit.
Basically, this is a misconception that I hear a lot, especially from Americans, saying that there's no speed limit in Germany. But it seems like you guys were right. There are speed limits in certain areas.
On Landstraßen. The next Autobahn entrance, die Autobahnauffahrt, is indicated on several signs as well. Blue is a typical color for Autobahn-related information.
Okay, huh. But then there's cars.
Now, we're right in front of the Auffahrt onto the Autobahn 44, the A44, die Autobahn 44, or as a short form, the A44. Because technically, there's not only one Autobahn in Germany, but a lot of them.
Okay.
We refer to them by saying A and an additional number. In order not to become a Geisterfahrer, a ghost rider so to speak,
Beautiful,
these things can really
windmills.
save lives. So make sure to stay on this lane, therefore. And talking about it, the lane you're driving on when you're right about to enter the actual part of the Autobahn is called der Einfädelungsstreifen. It's important to increase your speed on this lane before entering the actual Autobahn. The Verkehr, the traffic that's already driving on the Autobahn, has die Vorfahrt, by the way, the right of way or priority.
Okay. Alright.
This orange pillar you're seeing here can come in quite handy in an emergency case in which your own phone might not work, for instance. This is called a Notrufsäule, an emergency call pillar. That's the literal translation. It's basically a public emergency phone. These orange phones are spread every 2 kilometers across the Autobahn. And in total, there are over 17,000 emergency phones on over 13,000 kilometers on the German Autobahn. When you're suffering a Panne, a breakdown, or an Unfall, an accident on the Autobahn, it's important to wear your Warnweste, your high visibility vest, and also to set up your
That is very interesting because it gives it's a great way to make it easier for those that are gonna help you.
Warndreieck, your breakdown triangle, 150 to 400 meters away in front of your breakdown location.
Oh wow.
It's mandatory to always have such a vest and triangle in your car, by the way.
Make it more responsible.
These little blue signs often get overlooked, and in normal traffic they aren't that important to drivers anyway. The number they show is the respective length of the Autobahn up until this point, pretty much. And this information could come in very handy when you're actually having a Panne, a car breakdown, and in order to get help from a Pannenservice, a car breakdown service, so to speak, you might have to explain where you are on the Autobahn. On the German Autobahn, there's a Richtgeschwindigkeit, a recommended or target speed of 130 kilometers per hour. Yes,
Okay.
it's also true though that there are certain parts of the Autobahn without a speed limit, but this isn't the case for the Autobahn as a whole. In fact, there are many parts with a speed limit. Changing lanes is only allowed when there is a gestrichelte Linie, a broken or dashed line, by the way.
Okay.
Otherwise, you have to remain on your respective lane.
Makes sense.
Rhyme. For the most part, this Autobahn, the A44, features 2 Fahrbahnen, 2 lanes. You're only allowed to überholen, to overtake cars on the left lane though. From the A44, which we're driving on right now, we could also decide to change onto the A33 to Bielefeld. That would mean we had to exit this Autobahn and enter the A33. We're gonna stay on the A44 to Dortmund though. And it's actually pretty difficult to pronounce things in an English way when there are German words in
Yeah,
between.
I'm having a little bit
The
of
green
I'm having a little bit of problem here trying to swallow that pronunciation.
331 refers to an Europastraße. There are many European roads that often lead through and connect many different European countries. In this case though, the E331 only leads through Germany, and it bridges the distances between the towns of Dortmund and Kassel. Parts of the E331 are identical with the A44, by the way.
Beautiful windmills.
Yeah, it's really showing a deer. Das Reh. This icon represents German game and beasts, meaning wild animals.
Yep.
This is a Gefahrenzeichen, a danger sign, which is not only
Important.
indicated by the color combination, but also by the triangular shape.
Last month I almost hit one here in Wisconsin. Oh man, the worst experience. It was 9:30 p.m. I was driving towards the gas station. Man, a deer came up out of nowhere. It was from the bushes, man, but I was trying to avoid it. He was following the car. He was not running to the other way. I almost hit it though.
It warns of something. In this case, you have to be extra careful because there is a chance that deer or other wild animals might cross the road here. Yes, even though it's an Autobahn. There are lots of woods and forest regions in many parts of Germany, and some of them are also close to the Autobahn.
Good meat though. Very nice red meat.
These white signs are changing signs, and they don't show anything as long as the Verkehr, the traffic, is normal. But when there's a Stau, a traffic jam, or other
let
obstacles
you know.
which require additional rules for a certain period of time, signs like this one can turn around and show additional rules or information. For instance, speed limits or a warning of a traffic jam coming up ahead.
It's a lot of rules, man. So it can get confusing. Like he said, doesn't show anything, but if there's a traffic jam,
This sign tells us that there is a Parkplatz in 500 meters, a parking area.
Okay.
These parking areas are useful for taking a break, for going to a toilet, etc.
important. I like that. I like that. We should have some of that stuff here in the United States as well. I drive hours, man, and unless there's a gas station or something, you have to pee in the road. Well, you don't want to, right? Keep everything well clean, organized. Windmill looks very nice.
As you can see, these parking areas are often used by LKW-Fahrern, by truck drivers,
Yep.
but normal drivers can use them as well, of course.
Take a nap.
Another bigger variant of a spot like this is called a Raststätte. They usually feature a store for buying food or beverages and a Tankstelle, a gas station. On the German Autobahn, trucks are driving on the right lane, as long as they don't want to overtake another truck or vehicle, which, to be honest with you, can be quite a pain in the ass for other drivers. We even have an own term for a situation like that. So when a truck overtakes another truck, it's called das Elefantenrennen, the elephant race.
Okay.
In Germany, we have a Rechtsverkehr, a right-hand traffic system. And in addition to that, we also have a Rechtsfahrgebot, an obligation to drive on the right side or on the right lane whenever there's normal traffic or enough space to do so, which means you shouldn't be driving on the left lane all the time. When you're on an Autobahn with 3 lanes, meaning with an additional middle lane, it's technically not forbidden to also remain on the middle lane as long as there's only a couple of cars driving on the right lane. The usual maximum speed for an LKW on the German Autobahn is 80 km per hour. This blue sign tells us that the A44 to Dortmund also leads to the airport Paderborn-Lippstadt. Specific places or spots of interest like this one are usually shown.
Interesting how they used a blue color instead of us. We used the green color for a lot of these signs. And I've noticed that we have more signs than what you guys have in Germany. I don't know if that's good or bad or how there's a reason behind it. Oh, like a psychological reason, because a lot of these colors, like red, we all understand that red is like warning, right, or danger. And yellow is just to let you know. Yellow is like in the middle, right? Like just to let you know there's traffic coming, or that you might have people crossing the street. You know, things like that. But then blue one, like this, like very often it's interesting.
In white and black. Now, if we wanted to drive to Bad Wünnenberg, we would have to change to the right lane in 1,000 meters from here, which equals 1 kilometer. The 480 in the orange box indicates...
But then, you know what's funny? Blue makes sense because you have green over here in the back. So having green doesn't make sense. I think we effed up there.
That we won't be driving to Bad Wünnenberg on an Autobahn though, but on a Bundesstraße, the B480. A Bundesstraße can but doesn't have to look similar to an Autobahn, and in contrast to a usual Autobahn, a Bundesstraße doesn't necessarily just have to be about rapid or fast traffic with vehicles. Grey signs like this one indicate that certain traffic rules are cancelled from here on.
Okay.
In this case, the Überholverbot, the ban on passing, or the no passing zone for vehicles with a higher total weight than 3.5 tons is cancelled. From here on, they are allowed to overtake another vehicle again. Okay. The initial road sign that initiated the ban looks like this, by the way. We'll see it in a few minutes as well.
So you have to keep yourself in that same lane. A lot of windmill out there.
These signs indicate that an Ausfahrt, an Autobahn exit, is coming up. Each stripe represents 100 meters, and there are always 3 of these signs. In other words, in front of every Ausfahrt, you'll always have 3 of these signs with 3, 2, and 1 stripe.
Oh, that.
In Germany, every Ausfahrt has a specific.
It's just to let you know. Okay, here, it's 3 here, then 2 and 1. I like that.
Number. In this case, the very next Ausfahrt is the Ausfahrt 61. An Anschlussstelle, an interchange or connection point like this one, is indicated by a round white circle with a respective number in it.
3, 2, 1. That's pretty cool. It's like you keep the seconds, right?
This almost inconspicuous sign with a U and a number refers to an Umleitungsstrecke, a detour track. which,
It's
in
the
case
exit.
of a traffic jam, leads you across a different track, which
Oh.
later ends in the actual Autobahn you were driving on before. Of course, when you're leaving the Autobahn, you have to drive much slower than before, and in this case, the maximum allowed speed on the exit lane is 60 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, it to slow down.
A little trivia fact. The white and black pillars you're seeing on the right side are placed every 50 meters, which might also help to keep a certain distance to other vehicles in certain situations.
Yeah, for emergency.
Obviously, and just to have stated this, these aren't all possible road signs you'll find on the German Autobahn. Of course not. There are quite a few more signs that might appear in general or even more often in certain regions. One of the newest signs most Germans might not even have seen yet is this. It's a new sign that was specifically added for self-driving cars. They are able to determine their exact position with these signs a bit better.
I've never seen that before. Huh. Self-driving signs, huh? So he's going freely, you know. So the left side.
This
you
sign
have more
warns
freedom
us
than
of
the
a
right side,
potentially
right?
windy part of the Autobahn. As you will have noticed by now, there are many bushes and trees on each side of the Autobahn, and they also help to reduce the amount of wind.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. That's a good point. You have trees, and the wind comes from east and west. They cannot check your car. That is a good point.
Now, before I had my own driver's license, I always wondered what this strange and really simplistic sign means. It actually points to a recommended alternative route. You don't have to drive according to this recommendation, it just points out another possibility. Signs like these are called Hinweisschilder,
Guide sign.
guide signs.
Goody, goody, godago. Goody, goody, godago.
This sign warns of nearby air traffic. Be especially careful and brace yourselves for suddenly appearing planes above you, or
Oh,
so.
that's cool. We already discussed that one. That's why he's not stopping or not telling us. That's an exit.
A little funny
That's
anecdote. Mike Portnoy, the former drummer of the American progressive metal band Dream Theater, has stated that when they were touring in Germany many years ago, he actually thought that Ausfahrt referred to a town, and it would be a pretty massive town therefore, because it appears every few kilometers.
So the first time we toured Germany, I kept seeing this the sign on the highway that said Ausfahrt, and I thought it was the name of a city. And I would see it like every couple miles. I was like, holy shit, this city is huge. How big is Ausfahrt? And then I found out that it means exit.
So where are you
You sound
from?
like a city, right?
Well, I'm from a town called Ausfahrt, said nobody ever.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Goody, goodago, thank you. Goody, goodago, thank you.
And here we have it, a speed limit on the Autobahn.
120? Dang, 120 miles per
This
hour.
sign warns of so-called Rollsplit, loose gravel or chippings, which is one of the reasons for this speed limit.
Oh. So right now he's just going so ahead. They look slow, but in reality he's going fast. I would like to see what's the miles per hour.
Whenever there's a traffic jam, you need to leave a Rettungsgasse, a corridor for emergency vehicle access. You always have to leave space between the very left and the other lanes to the right, and it doesn't matter how many lanes there are.
Okay.
And not only are the Foo Fighters a great band to listen to when you're cruising on the Autobahn, but they also know what's not allowed on it as well. Because there's no way back other than leaving the Autobahn via an official exit lane ahead of you, because turning around, wenden, is not allowed.
What? What was that again? So listening to music is not allowed? I did not understand that.
These digital signs might also appear here and there. The prohibitions and information they show can vary and change according to the current traffic situation.
Interesting.
Every now and then, you'll also see brownish signs like this one. No, they don't lead you to Nazis, but they rather inform you about a certain region, a sightseeing spot or an interesting location. This one says Nature Resort Arnsberger Wald, for der Wald meaning forest, and Bilsteintal, the Bilstein Valley. At the moment it's barely possible to keep your Windschutzscheibe, your front shield or your windshield clean while driving on the Autobahn, because many mosquitoes are flying around and
yeah, I hear you, man. I hear
it's
you.
a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I hear you,
hope
man.
though that this video wasn't a pain in the ass to watch.
No,
and
it
if
wasn't.
you've enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like and to share it with other people. Thanks for doing that in advance, and thanks for watching as well. I'm your
That was very good. Oh man, you played Resident Evil as well? Hey man, you cool. You are cool. Cool as hell. Man, very good video. Now I have a better understanding of the Autobahn. It's now how people portray it. Like, yeah, in Germany you can just, run crazy and just, miles per hour. You can go to 150 miles per hour. It's not like that. There's certain areas that you can do so. However, there's still restrictions just to avoid, of course, the obvious accidents. Very good video. Very good video. Yeah, we have mosquitoes here in Wisconsin, man. So I feel you. I feel you. They're not good. You kill so many that your windshield looks disgusting. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hey, if you guys have any other videos about Autobahn that you want me to react, put them in the comment section. I'll react to them. I'm always in the comment section just reading what you guys always comment on my videos. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next one.